What's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen God do on the mission field?
Oh, so many things.
Tell me your favorite.
Can I actually tell you one of my most favorites?
What did you learn from that season?
I learned that I am wise. No, I don't know. I don't know. I learned so much. I mean, like I used to get Chick-fil-A. There was a church that gave me Chick-fil-A coupons once as an honorarium. Like, and I was like, woohoo, you know, like.
Okay, everybody, it's my friend Will Hart. I'm so happy you're here, Will.
You came in strong.
Hey, remember when I was on your podcast?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah. And it was super fun. And I tried to ask you a question, and you were like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. I'm asking the questions.
Insert clip here. I'm just kidding. I'm going to ask the questions here. Okay? So, because I know the way you like to twist this.
Is there none on this end of the table?
Get out of here. When you have your own podcast, I can...
you switch places with me?
No. Okay. Either side, I'm still asking the questions. I like to... This is my side right now.
All right. I see that.
But we can flip it later.
Okay.
I'll let you ask me maybe a question.
Look how the tables have turned.
Yeah.
It's so great. And I have a whole page of questions.
I don't have questions when I do podcasts.
Well, I have some because sometimes you can do a rabbit and I'm like, I have no idea where he went.
Stream of consciousness.
So it's a scary thing with you.
It takes me places.
It takes you a lot of places.
It does.
That others fear to tread. They fear to follow you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's others that follow you.
Some do.
Right off the cliff.
They usually have mental problems.
Okay, let's talk about who you are.
Hey, my name's Will.
Yeah, you're Will, and you're my neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
And
very
my
much so.
Dear friend, we are family.
By the way, thank you for giving me that IRS paper.
Listen, I'm still getting mail at my house from you. And the IRS doc came, and I was like, hate to be the bearer of all bad news. And I was going to call you and open it. And then Jess came over, and I was like, Jess, take this IRS document to Will because I don't want to call him.
It's such a mess.
Was it a good thing?
No.
I had the creepiest feeling. Okay, listen, I go to my mailbox, and I open it, and I pull that out, and I'm like, IRS, crap.
Yeah.
And it's your name, and I was like, whew.
Yeah, no,
Dodged
it's not me personally.
No,
it was for a nonprofit. Yeah, so I got to get that changed.
Pretty sure you're not going to change the address on there because nobody wants to get mail from the IRS.
I just forget. Yeah.
I get your IRS mail. I get the Shealy's mail for something.
Shealy?
Oh, you have their T-shirt on.
I do.
I get their mail for something else. I still get Jess's mail about her medical.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay though. I like to collect them all on my counter, and then I call you guys and say, "Here we go."
It's fantastic. Right. Yeah.
This is going to be the podcast where all news is just.
I'll tell people about my IRS problems all day.
I'm sure that's going to be flagged.
No,
now.
it's fine.
It's going to be completely resolved.
Who says there's an issue? Did you just assume there is?
Of course.
No, I'm good.
No,
squeaky clean, above reproach.
Watching you look down. You know when you look
in shame?
up and to the left.
That's
is
lying.
when you're searching.
Yeah.
And you didn't do that. You looked down.
I looked down in shame. That I haven't changed my address. Yeah.
It's all right. It's all good. And Mike, my husband, he knows what mail is coming because I leave town, right? So he stops the mail. Like he manages all things, which is great.
Yeah.
So he says, "Oh, there's an IRS bill for Will."
This is going to be a thing.
He was concerned about you because he texted me and said, "Hey, when you go to the mailbox today, coming is an IRS thing for Will."
Yeah. I need to change the address.
I remember this moment because it's the first time you didn't have a thing to say.
I did. Yeah. I mean, I could share, but no.
That's all right.
No.
I'm
good. Everything's good. Everything's good. I'm so good.
Okay, we're going to talk about who you are and what you do.
Yeah.
I love your family. You are amazing to me, and
I actually know that you love my family, which I love.
In fact, when I got up this morning, there was a text from your daughter inviting me to her 18th birthday.
No way.
And she's like, "Ucho, I hope you're in town." And I was like, "Bella, I am."
Aww.
So I'm coming to her 18th birthday
Come on,
party.
let's go.
I'm very excited about
You've been a major player in all my kids' lives.
Love your kids. Yeah. And when your youngest hugged me the other night, he goes, he cracks me up. He goes, "You're my favorite preacher." And I go, "You say that to everybody."
No, he actually doesn't. Well,
he does.
No, he
too.
does. Now that I think
He
about
is
it, yeah.
He's the actor of all actors.
He knows.
and
He
knows exactly what to say. I think the apple didn't fall too far from the tree. Anyway, he's the cutest.
I won't. Yes.
Yeah.
He's great.
We just believe he's going to be in all things stage and screen because he just
Really.
I do.
I just break that. Stage and screen. Listen.
Why couldn't he do that for Jesus?
Oh, he could.
Of course he could.
I'm not saying he could. He can't.
Yeah. So I just take.
I got enough drama in my life.
Let's talk about Iris.
Yeah. What do you want to know?
Okay, I want you to talk about what Iris Global is doing around the world. For those of the people that are watching that don't know what you do, you are the Chief Operating Officer, the man who does all things. And Heidi and Roland Baker started this ministry now like 40 years ago?
30 something. 35, I think.
Long time ago. Doing incredible work for the gospel, bringing the glorious gospel of Jesus all over the world.
Yeah.
You have missionaries in all these countries. I've met so many. They're just the most passionate, sold out, amazing people. And they all came to Nashville for a retreat about 3 weeks ago. And you made them build crazy vehicles. And I thought our retreats were bad. I make people jump through hoops and do all kinds of beach games and stuff. And you had them welding with fire and building these bike carts and
high risk downhill slalom with homemade vehicles.
And wasn't it last summer's retreat that you wanted to get greased pigs and you were going to give them all $100?
Yeah, which I found out is illegal because I was in the process of purchasing. Which is why
you got a letter
pigs.
from the IRS.
Yes. Why is this? Why is there a 50-gallon drum of grease and 40 pigs on your statement?
Someone said something.
I tried. I literally was going to do it.
You said you were.
And then I looked it up, and it is highly illegal. I guess it's animal cruelty, which makes sense. So we didn't. So I greased up watermelons, and we did a relay race with.
And this is what you get to look forward to when you are a missionary with Iris.
So the reality is, Iris, we're a lot of things. So I'll answer your question in 1 second.
Talk about what the ministry does, who you are, because a lot of people don't.
We're very decentralized. So people are on their own in a lot of ways, even though they're not, but they are. We trust people to go and do what the Lord's calling them to do. And so in more of a decentralized model, our unity comes through connection and time together. So we really invest in time together. That's the connection point. And so when we do get together, and it's hard getting everybody together. We do it about every 3 years in all Iris gathering. We go all, I do my best to go all out.
It is spectacular to watch.
And we stretch people. A couple of years ago, I did like the hottest. I bought like the hottest peppers in the world, and my goal is to get them to the edge of hospitalization.
It's because they live on the edge anyway. In mission life, and then you bring them into your Iris gatherings, and you almost kill them.
Yeah.
Then when they go back, they have something to look forward to.
Yes.
They get away from you.
They do, but it's fun. Listen, like a lot of our crew, like they live in war zones. They have guns pulled on them, like
all the time.
Oh, what's a big risky game to play? You know,
if you burn the roof of your mouth off and get a hole in your tongue from the hot sauce, what's that to you? Because you just had a gun pulled on you.
And missionaries are insanely competitive. If
you offer them $100,
that helps. It really helps. So
you said to me once, if I put $100 stakes, they'll do anything. Because money is a wonderful thing. Everyone needs money.
Listen, everybody wants money, and you throw a little cash in the mix. People go all in. So I actually dialed back the finance this year.
Oh, did you?
Yes. I got convicted, so I didn't have as many cash prizes this year.
But people loved building those carts. I watched I couldn't come that day to see the whole racing, but I did watch some of the highlights on socials and just loved it. I just thought this is hysterical. And if our mission team could weld, I would take that idea and make them do it.
Oh, no one really could weld. We just kind of.
I see. Now I had this impression when I was there on that Tuesday night for the worship gathering, which was just amazing, by the way. I thought, oh, well, clearly all these people know how to do welding and hammering and building and stuff because they're living in the middle of nowhere with nothing. I had no idea that they didn't know how to do it, and you gave them blowtorches.
Some do.
And metal.
And like disc grinders. The disc grinders were the scary thing for me. They're just cutting bicycle parts up.
And they didn't know how.
We didn't have a single injury. Thank you, Lord.
You must have run around and laid hands on everyone.
I get nervous, but at the same time, they're big boys and girls. So yeah, they're all crazy. So okay, Iris Global.
Yes, talk about how you got involved in that and what it is, and because the DNA is incredible.
Yeah. So I was very inspired by a message I heard Heidi speak
Heidi
when
Baker.
I was 21 years old. I was at Voice of the Apostles, and I just started traveling with Randy Clark at that time. And it was maybe a week or 2 weeks into my internship program with him, and Heidi came and spoke at VOA, and it rocked me.
Wow.
If you rewind maybe, I don't know, a year prior to that, I was living in Paraguay. So missions, I got saved when I went to the missions field. So missions was always in my
And you went
DNA.
with Dr. Bob to
Not doctor,
Bob.
definitely
Sorry,
captain.
he was
Captain, yeah, there was no doctor.
That was like,
yeah.
boom. Captain Bob, you went to Paraguay.
Yep, in 99.
Okay.
So 99 through about 2000, 99, 2000, 2001, I was there, came back, did a year just living back at home. I was 19. And then Randy called me. So I moved out to Pennsylvania, started traveling with Randy. A week into it, I meet Heidi at this conference, and it rocked me. Absolutely rocked me. I spent hours on the floor weeping. And it was from that point on, I said, I have to like see what God's doing in Mozambique. And if I can be really honest, it wasn't until 3 years later that I actually moved out to Pemba, got married, moved out to Pemba with my wife. But by that point, 3 years later, I was a little disenfranchised with the movement. And I wanted out of the kind of the itinerant world.
Yeah. You traveled, just so everybody knows, for those 3 years, you always had a mission heart, but you traveled around training and equipping people in the church.
Yeah.
But your heart burned for missions.
It did.
So that's a very difficult if you're not doing missions and you're just doing training and equipping. It's a hard line to walk if that's your
And I think part of my story was I had an encounter with God, and then I went onto the missions field.
Right.
And it was disheartening to go to church, return to the same churches, see the same people getting the same line.
Nothing's changing.
Yeah. And I will say this as I look back, like I was very immature and I was very judgy. I was like, these silly people, they want all the gifts.
No
and
way.
not me. I know it's hard to believe. But I got pretty disenfranchised for a season. Part of it was my passion. Part of it was immaturity. But all that being said, it led me to get married, go serve Heidi and Roland early when they just moved from Maputo in the south up north to Pemba. And so we helped pioneer the Pemba base up there. We did about 3 years. My first 2 kids were born there. And then
One of them on a cutting board.
he actually was delivered onto a cutting board. Yeah. We had Bella and Josh
And
in
then
our
we
house.
used it to serve bread the next day.
It was a cake, and it was like a week later. So get your facts straight, Joe Moody. Yeah.
There's so many stories. Well, okay, keep going.
Yeah, no,
This is so good.
I can go anywhere. You tell me.
No, go. Keep going.
So yeah, we're there 3 years. The Lord called me back and my family back to America. We lived in North Carolina for a year, just died out there. That was a rough season. I don't want to talk about it. We talk about whatever. But then Randy called me back up. So I went back to Pennsylvania, served Global for 8 years.
Yeah, now that was interesting to me because you left what you were passionate about and that had the desert part in North
desert.
Carolina.
Yeah, it was awful.
That was a lot of stuff that...
I worked at Lowe's. Marriage was in a rough
Yeah.
place. Fell back into some sin.
Yeah.
Yeah, started drinking. It was not a good season.
The thing that I love about the redemption of God is that season of your life and when you've preached and used those analogies,
Yeah.
they have been the most piercing things in people's lives because they've told me, I've been around you for a long time, and when you talk about that chapter of your life, because everybody has a perception about people in ministry, and a lot of times when they see you up on a big platform and whatever, they're like, yeah, you got it all together and blah, blah, blah. I love it when you talk about, certainly I love the triumphs and I love it when you talk about that, but I love it when you talk about that season in North Carolina because people go through those private hells
All the time.
and they never talk about it. They act like it doesn't happen. But you've used it, you have used it to glorify God because people have felt like, oh my gosh, somebody sees me in the pain of that.
Yeah.
So
everybody goes through junk. Like everybody does. And I'm fully convinced that I'll talk about everything. I think I have this truth will set you free.
Yep.
So, and that doesn't just mean the word will set you free. Like I think
action of
truth, being honest, being real, it doesn't negate faith. It doesn't negate the story.
It's one of my favorite things about you. I think that you are, you're the most unfiltered person I know. And I love it. I mean, I every time you're preaching, I will come because I like to watch you watch God and follow the Holy Spirit in the room. Yeah. It's not a learned behavior. It's a surrendered position. People think I got to learn how to preach. I got to learn how to, bring the gospel. And all that's true, whatever. But you're willing to die in the moment, no matter what, to follow the Holy Spirit. And that's the thing. That's one of my favorite things about you. Is it doesn't matter where you are, who it is. It doesn't matter if it's one person or it's a room of 25,000 people. You are always the same because your eyes are always on the Lord, trying to follow what the Holy Spirit's doing. And that is only learned through death to self. And I'm going to say it, challenging times and suffering.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody wants to be, let's live on the mountaintop, but that challenging thing in your life has caused you to be, because you do have a very rogue personality.
Yeah.
You could, without Jesus, just be the wildest person on the planet.
Yeah.
But you've learned how to die to yourself over and over and over again.
I mean, I don't know if I say I'd learned it, but I've faced it a bunch. And if I can be honest with, and I don't often think about it, I just think that there's so many people that are living with the illusion of what there's an archetype, a stereotype of what a Christian should be. And I think anytime you try to live in an illusion or live in somebody else's shoes or live trying to copy an idea and it's not yours, like I just think you're going to end up getting frustrated. You're going to end up missing the mark and you're going to end up feeling like a failure. I just do my best to be as honest as I can. And listen, there's pluses and minuses to it, right? Like being very vulnerable and open. People also say, oh, well, that doesn't look like faith, or that doesn't look like it does close doors. I know that, but it's okay.
I don't know.
I feel like I just would rather be able to stand up in front of people and say I'm the same at church when I'm preaching than when I'm at home or with my friends. I really
attest to that. You are the same.
And I value that. I saw that in Randy. I've seen it in Heidi.
Dr. Randy Clark is always like that.
And I saw it in Bob, my spiritual father. All of them, they were the same. There was no difference. And so what I don't want people to think is I'm saying like I've made it, or I think I have. No, like I constantly need to be challenged and grow, but I also don't want to fake it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of just being in ministry 25 years. You've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of fake, unfortunately. And I
love that. I think go back to where I want to talk about so many things, but go back to where you went back to Global to work with Dr. Randy Clark for 8 years, because I want to know how God captivated your heart 8 years later.
You want the truth?
I do,
Okay,
because I think it's helpful to people. Like here's the thing. You prophesy when the Lord prompts you. You prophesy, and I know you, and your gift is incredible. And we attribute all of that to the Lord. Power of God in your life is demonstrated over and over and again with these accurate prophetic words. And there's some people that receive prophetic words, and it doesn't happen for years and years and years and years and years. And if you're not letting God grow you up and you're not mature in that, you can almost lose your faith over saying that's not going to happen, or that wasn't a right word. Or I mean, I don't know how many thousands of times I hear people say that. Well, God's not doing that. Well, how about because your character doesn't match the calling or whatever the deal is? But I feel like you always had a call to missions. That is what moved your heart the most. And then you went and served in positions that weren't necessarily mission oriented. And I think that's important to talk about, you being, I mean, of course, working with some of the greatest people on the planet, but at the same time,
Yeah.
challenging.
Yeah. So what's the question?
The question is, how did you know that God was calling you out of 8 years of working back on the road, which you love the people, but you didn't necessarily love that mission?
Yeah. So when I left Global the first time, I didn't want to come back. I would say this: I was very immature, and I was growing. I was given a lot of platform early, which I'm grateful for.
Yep.
But I was also in my early 20s, just married. So so when I left there, and I was wrong. I was like, I never want to do this again. I was very disenfranchised. Not with Randy, not with Global, just with the whole thing.
How it works.
Yeah, like I think sometimes people on the outside of the charismatic movement, they think that we just like drink our own Kool-Aid. And I've always seen issues, and I've always wrestled through those issues. And so it was when I left, all that being said, when I left, I was at a place where I was like navigating all of this stuff, and that was my own junk. But so when I went to missions, my heart went even further away from the itinerant.
Yeah, you were
Right?
like, I'm clearly never going.
Yeah, like I am cut to do this in some capacity. And so I moved back to America, and at this point I have 2 kids. I have a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old, and married, and we moved back in with mom and dad because that's all that I had. And so, you're coming off the field. We were living off of support. And so next thing is you got to get work. You got to
What are you going to do?
start somewhere. So luckily we had a landing place with my parents. We're there for a few months. And our original plan was to go and start a base in Thailand.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Lucy and I wanted to move to Thailand. And we got all these words. Our heart was there. And then about a month into moving back, I had a businessman call me, and he says, I have 3 other men, so there's 4 of us. We each want to give $250,000 for you to go start a base in Thailand, a prostitution rehabilitation center. And I was like, incredible. I said, babe,
we're doing it.
It's all coming to pass the way we thought it would. And I will never forget. It was probably my wife. I don't remember, but we had this thought, like, we should just pray about this. Right?
That might be a good idea.
Well,
Maybe
I honestly, I really don't pray through a lot of where I go.
You just go.
I just go.
I know.
And that is not, I'm not saying it's right.
Yeah.
For me, I live off the principle, I was dead, now I'm alive. I told the Lord I'll go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So
sometimes that works for you.
sometimes it doesn't. But I would say more than not, it does.
It does. That's
and
true.
even if I do miss it, like, he cleans it up.
He does.
And yeah, so all that being said, this amazing opportunity, and this thought was like, man, we should probably just pray about this before we say yes. And I remember, like, I was walking around my house that I grew up in, like outside. I was like pacing, praying or something. I don't remember. And I felt like the Lord said no. And I got like super upset because everything for a year, we were like Thailand. I was studying Thai, Pasa Thai Nit Noi Kap. Like we were getting ready. Like this was a big deal for us. Moosey and I would take.
I don't know this chapter.
Moosey and I were taking trips out to Thailand. That's how I ended up in Darren's movie, because I was going over there, seeing the Lord just move on the streets of Pattaya, and I was watching just some of the most incredible things. Both Moosey and I were going there. It was incredible. That's where I first met Dr. Alan Hawkins. We went on a trip to Thailand together.
I missed all this chapter.
There's a lot in there, and so the Lord said no. So said no to it, and that was our next goal. It was Mozambique, come home, chill, And
did your wife, Moosey, get a no too?
Yeah, like we both were like, oh, it's no. But none of that made sense. Yeah. So we're like, okay, well, what's next? And so we kind of went back to the original word on leaving Mozambique, and it was build a foundation for your family, build a foundation ministry, And so I said, that's where we're going to go. Lord, where's the open doors? We had some friends in Moravian Falls, North Carolina, that said, hey, you can come get started here. You know, there was all this lore around Moravian Falls. And so we were like, let's go. Land was cheap. Everything was cheap. Mm-hmm. There was an airport nearby. We had friends there, and it got us out of Massachusetts, which I wanted to get out of Massachusetts. So we ended up moving down to Moravian Falls, and we did about a year there, a little bit less than a year. And that was hell. Mm. Just pure, unadulterated HE double hockey stick. Like, I hated, there was some great times, but there was a lot of real difficulty. And it was like when we moved there and everything stopped, right? Like, come off from Mozambique, things didn't stop in Massachusetts. They just slowed down. We're off the field, a couple of months. Mm-hmm. It was when we moved out to Moravian Falls, that's when the wheels just came off. And marriage, all the hidden marriage.
What did you learn from that season?
I learned that I am wise. No, I don't know. I don't know. I learned so much. I learned that I learned a lot. I learned a lot.
You said everything stopped. That's why I asked you that, because I think there's some times in our lives when favor, and you've always had a ton of favor. And then all of a sudden you hit
no favor.
And then what do you do? Because when you're used to getting favor and then you don't, and your marriage is suffering and your family's suffering, you're like, what? I mean, so now you're on this side of it, but I mean, that was
no money, like because you're off the field, so everybody stops supporting you, right? Which makes sense. Sure, I totally get that. No money. So I was going to lean on my giftings, which was I can at least get back an itinerant. People wanted to hear what I wanted to say. I still had a little bit of a pull. Mm-hmm. So I remember I set up a whole year's worth of travel, which back in the day, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to be able to live this lavish lifestyle. At times I was getting $300 going to a church,
right?
For a weekend. Mm-hmm. I wasn't this well-known speaker or whatever. It was just, I was crushing it, just grinding it out, driving overnight to places, staying in Motel 8, staying in basements. I mean, I used to get Chick-fil-A. There was a church that gave me Chick-fil-A coupons once as an honorarium. And I was like, woohoo,
I can eat.
Yeah. So I ended up getting a whole year's worth of itinerant laid out. And then right around that time was when Todd Bentley fell.
Wow.
And in a moment, nobody wanted young power evangelist dudes. Nobody wanted them. So when that whole thing happened, it was like somebody hit the charismatic movement with a baseball bat, and the air just left. And so I had a whole year cancel, basically in 1 month. Everything went to nothing, and so I'm left, no missions. I'm staying in our friend's garage apartment. It was nice, but it was still living in their garage that they converted to this little thing. And I got 2 little kids. Nope. Now I can't go speak. We're living off nothing. We have nothing. And all my plans for getting a house, and they all just disappeared. Yeah. And that's when I ended up trying to get a job, because I'll work, I'll provide for my family. That's never been an issue.
Sure. No, you are a hard worker.
Yeah. I don't care.
You could do anything.
Yeah, I'll do anything. And that's my job, right? Is to work and help my wife and my kids. And so I ended up applying for jobs. And this is Wilkesboro, North Carolina. And I don't know if you've ever been to Wilkesboro.
I think I drove through once.
Oh, man. It is nothing. It's a postage stamp. And there was so I ended up trying to get a job at a restaurant waiting tables in Wilkesboro. Really known for its tips, And I couldn't even get a job waiting tables.
Wow.
Now, when I was with Randy, I'd preached to at times over 100,000 people.
Right.
Right. I'd met with leaders of nations.
And here you are.
And I'm in the middle of nowhere. Marriage is just, ugh.
That's when she threw your car keys over the...
No, that was later. But there's been a couple of these seasons. But anyway, I ended up getting a job at Lowe's. They gave me 39 hours a week, so they didn't have to put me on insurance.
Full time.
Yeah, and we were living off of just basically $500 a month. is what we were living on.
Wow.
And I think after taxes, I was making like 5 something an hour. It was awful. It was awful, and just died. So how did I get back with Randy? I apologize. I have
That's
issues.
good for people to hear, though. I mean, it's like it's a journey.
So I have this buddy that's pretty prophetic, and maybe about 4 months into my dying lows season, he calls me up and he's like, "Hey, has Randy called you?" And I was like, "Why?" And he goes, "I just think you're gonna go back with Randy." And I was like, "Click." Like literally the last thing I wanted to do. The last thing I wanted to do was go back into that thing, and I was in this, like, I don't know if it's deconstructing. I don't know what it was. Like, everything's falling apart. I'm questioning everything. I had picked up the bottle again.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to leave that out of my testimony in this season. I started to fall back on some bad habits. Mm-hmm. Nothing crazy. I don't want people to think that I was like, but to the point where I knew that it was.
But things that could have been a snare.
Oh, it was a snare. So I don't know. Fast forward a couple months, phone call again. "Hey, has Randy called you?" I was like, "You shut your mouth when you're talking to me." Click. And it was like within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, Randy called me. And during that whole season, right before the second call came and Randy ended up calling me, I had this come to Jesus moment on the side of the road as I was driving out to Lowe's. I was pissed. And I pulled my truck over and I was like, "I'm going to tell you something. We're having a conversation right now." And I lost it. And I'm like weeping on the side of the road. Not like, "Oh, I love you, Lord." Like, like weeping. And I've done everything you've told me. I've done everything. And I've never asked for anything. What the heck? Yeah. And it was real. Yeah. And everything started to change in that moment. I got offered a managerial position. I got offered to come and pray over the store, and nobody knew that I was a believer. I was like, nobody knew.
Wow.
Yeah. And then within 2 weeks, Randy calls me. And he had hurt his back, asked me to start doing some stuff. I started getting some finance in, started doing some stuff for Randy, and then very quickly he said, "I want you to move back." And so I spent the next 8 years with Randy, helping build Global Awakening. Loved it. Randy's incredible.
And Randy is incredible. Just one of the most honorable people I've ever met in my life. And what you see is what you get.
It was during that time that you got healed. It was at one of those events. I remember I was there.
Crazy. Yeah. So then you're doing that for 8 years. And then how did you get, I mean, I know the story, but I want you to tell the story of how you got to Iris.
So because I'd lived in Mozambique, Randy does trips.
Sure.
And they would normally do a trip to Mozambique every year. Yeah. They're like, "Will, you're in charge of this trip." And I was like, "Yeah," because I get to go see my friends and I get to go visit. And so it was on one of the trips, Heidi and Rollin were in the bush. We were in the bush doing outreach, and Heidi and Rollin came up to me and they said, "We have something we need to ask you." I said, "Sure." They said, we want you to join the board of Iris Global." And I was like, "Really?" They're like, "Yeah."
How old were you then?
I want to say it's 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Something like that. 30. I was like 30. Yeah. And they said, "We want you to join the board." And I was like, "Why?" Because I knew the board. Mm-hmm. I knew the board was, and I was like, "Why?" They were like, "We just believe that you have something to give." And I said, "Sure, I would love to." It was an honor. And then I did that for about a year and a half while I still did Randy stuff. It was, we would do 4 board meetings a year, 1 in person, and so it wasn't taking a ton of my time. And then it was about a year, maybe a year and a half later, they said, "Hey, you're the one we want to step in." And it was funny because when I stepped into the board, I assumed another board member's place. There was a board member that was
somebody
leaving.
Stepped off.
Yeah. And it was Chris Valentin. So he calls me, and I'll never forget. I'm in Pennsylvania, and he's like, "Hey, I hear you're taking, I hear you're going to be on the seat." I said, "Yeah, I am." He said, "I'm stepping down," and he goes, "What's your plan?" And I was like, What do you mean? He goes, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm traveling and I'm serving Global Awakening. He goes, sooner or later, you're going to have to pick one. Wow. Iris or Global. And I was like, no.
Because they're good friends. At this point, they have Revival Alliance and all this stuff.
Yeah, he goes, you're going to have to pick one or the other. And I was like, no, I won't. He goes, I go, why would you say that? He goes, you can't serve both. And I was like, pfft. I remember thinking, like, who does this guy think he is? Like, well, like I actually have been doing both for like a year.
Thank you very much.
So I can do that, and see ya. You know. And he was the first one that and he said it a year before it happened. Yeah. Anyway, so fast forward about a year and a half, Heidi and Roland. They asked me to step in as CEO.
And they did something remarkable. They called Randy.
Yeah, they
because
did.
I think, there's a way to leave ministries well.
Yep.
There's a way to burn a bridge, and there's a way to leave without actually wrapping things up.
Yeah.
And I know that, the Bakers and Randy, the Clarks are friends. So
very close.
But that was really pivotal. Talk about that just a little bit.
So Heidi asked me, I was in Indonesia, I believe. Mm-hmm. We were doing a conference and something. There was something going on. And but I was still at Global Awakening. I was in Asia speaking at an Iris event. Mm-hmm. And they approached me. They said, we want you to leave. And I said, okay. And I knew exactly when they asked. Like that it was
a God thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say immediately, but within a day or two, Moosey was with me on that trip, and we
had confirmation.
We just processed it together, and I said, Heidi, I need you. If this is something that you want, I need you to ask Randy first.
I love that.
And she did. She said, oh, of course. She was like, we were thinking about that anyway. Mm-hmm. And so Heidi called Randy, and they had a conversation, because one of the reasons why I came back into Global was like, eventually you're going to be one of the leaders in Global Awakening for the future.
Right.
And they had put 8 years, into me and open up doors. I'm where I'm at.
And you are a son of that.
Yeah.
Son of that house.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty tough place.
Yeah. And so Heidi called Randy, and then I called Randy afterwards. And Randy is one of the greatest men walking the planet.
Unbelievable.
And he said something to me. He said, Will, the apostolic is open-handed. And that phrase has stuck with me forever. Yeah. He said, basically, he wasn't calling himself an apostle. What he was saying is, like,
never does that.
In the apostolic world, like, you raise up, you send out,
that's right.
And you don't hold on or control anything.
Because you're serving the greater good of the kingdom.
Yeah, he goes, our goal is to give. And he said, you are one of my greatest gifts that I can give to Iris, and tears streaming down his face. And actually, Randy and I had a conversation on my podcast years ago. And people can watch it. It's Green Room with Randy Clark. YouTube.
Watch Will's podcast. They're amazing.
It's old. It's like maybe 4 or 5 years old. But we talk about the story after kind of the tension, because there's some tension. I was leaving, and so we talk about it. It's great. It's one of my favorite podcasts I've ever done. Yeah.
There's a true thing about being a spiritual parent to somebody, to be able to promote them and let them go.
Yeah.
I think when I felt like I was supposed to leave the mega church where I was, and God was calling me out to go do what I never sought to do, didn't want to do, all this stuff about training and equipping and traveling, doing all this stuff. But the day that I was going to tell the staff of 70 people that
it's fun.
That I had no fun at all, and the pastors were not handling anything well at that moment, and from across that, so we're in a community that doesn't really roll in the Holy Spirit, right? But the Holy Spirit's broken out in the church, and all this stuff has happened, and there is a beautiful man of God named Bishop Parnell Lovelace, who was a friend of mine. He happened to be teaching in the the university across the highway.
Yeah.
And I'm about ready to step into the staff meeting and do this thing. And senior pastor's kind of in a ball. He can't really talk. And the other pastors are looking down at the floor. They're the only ones that know. And the whole staff is sitting in there. Nobody knows. And he comes bursting into our church. Now so the prophetic is not allowed to happen. So this is not like a place, but I was just say this about people that cover other people. And he walks in and he is a commanding presence and he is very apostolic. He planted this amazing church in Sacramento and he's got a double PhD. I mean, he walks
winner chicken dinner.
Seriously, walks in authority, but with the most humility, very, very much like Randy Clark. And he walked in and he said, he looks at me and he goes, Sister Joe, what is going on? Because the Lord, he goes, I was over there and I'm getting ready to go teach my class. And I was in mid-bite of bacon. And the Lord said to me, get over there because Sister Joe's going to make this announcement. She's leaving. And you get over there and straighten this out.
Wow.
Now, so we are friends.
Yeah.
But this man is a coverer. And I feel like that's what happened to you in that minute. I mean, he turned before I could make the announcement. He turned to everybody and he said, now, Sister Joe's about to tell you something. And this is not a loss for you. This is a bonus for the kingdom of God.
Wow.
And then he doesn't even know what's going to happen. But the Lord has told him, he's like, she is going to be sent around the world to tell her testimony, which is the miracle of God. And all of you are going to be celebrating and exalting God for this opportunity that we see the kingdom expanded through our sister and blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
that's incredible.
Who are you, dude?
Wow.
Like crazy, crazy. I think in the moment when we have opportunity, when somebody comes along in our life and we pour into them and then something else comes along and they get an opportunity, so very few times have I seen it handled well, where somebody says, here, I'm sending you.
Yeah.
It's going to be great loss to me personally, but I'm sending you. And it rarely happens. I just love your story.
I was talking to someone last night and they were like, how do I leave well? Like, how do I leave this place?
Yeah.
They were transitioning a job or something like that and leave well. But so many people try to control.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's a story that you hear with, people that work at churches or ministries or, they've been controlled. It really is. It's a lack of confidence in leadership. The controlling thing it's disgusting, but I understand some people can only lead that way. That's how they can get it.
Never been taught. So.
Yeah. I find that some of my favorite pastors, some of my favorite leaders, they have these small churches, right? And I think there's something really beautiful about, like the father and the mother of a house, that all they want is the best for their children. And I think sometimes when we get into these larger atmospheres, they're run more like a corporation.
Yeah, exactly.
And in a corporation, you're treated like a commodity, not as a human. And man, I've never seen that in Heidi, in Roland, in Randy. They always treated me like a son. And I treated them like a leader, like I honored them, I respected them as well.
Incredibly honoring. I don't know. More than most people I know. Yeah. I mean, I asked you recently in the last year, I said, you keep doing this particular thing. and you said to me, everything I ever have been given by God is because I serve, and I serve because that's what Jesus does. And you said to serve somebody for no reward, right? The reward is to know Christ and to lay down your life.
Yeah.
And I've watched you do that. And it, as wild as you are and just going 100 miles an hour all the time, the way that you step in to honor an older leader is absolutely phenomenal to me. And I know that you hate that when I say that, but I will say that I don't see that very often.
Well, thank you. I actually do. I don't like talking about myself.
I know, but I'll say this. People say, well, what about me? I've never in my life, as long as I have known you, have I ever heard you say, what about me? Like in regard to serving people, you serve all of your leaders of Iris, you serve everybody all the time, but you don't ever, I've never heard or seen an attitude come out of you that's like, well, what about me? Like, I know you get tired, I know you get weary, blah, blah, all that stuff. But I'm saying when we come in to bring about honor to somebody in the body of Christ, there can never be that backside of it that's like, I deserve, I'm owed,
Yeah.
and I don't know, you're just rare.
Well, I
I've
think
not
people,
seen that.
man, listen, I think about this a lot, and a lot of the way that I live, of course, it's my parents, right?
Yeah.
I have great parents that serve, and I grew up with a father that was a carpenter, and he just constantly did things for people, and so I just grew up around that. So part of it is my parents, but I've also seen a lot of junk in the church, the quid pro quo. But biblically, this life is not about you.
Yeah.
And it's not. And that's very hard. It's easy I think I don't talk about it a lot because people at times when I've gotten into the conversation with people, they're like, well, look at your life. Things have worked out pretty good. So I understand that, like, I'm saying that I serve, but like I've been given a lot. And I know my story isn't the same for a lot of people that have given themselves unto serving. The issue is in the background of your heart or your mind, the motivation.
Exactly.
Is that motivation there that I'm going to do this 1 year,
Because
2
I
years,
get
5
to-
years, and then eventually this will happen. I don't know if there's like I have some sort of thing wrong with me. I don't have that.
You don't have, this is a means to this end.
Right.
You have goals and objectives.
Of course.
I know that about you.
Of
because
course.
We talk about them all the time. But it's not the thing that is this, you don't have that quid pro quo in your life.
Yeah.
You just don't have it. I've never seen you have that. I've watched you serve all these different people, and you genuinely, compassionately do it because that's who you are. And other people will do it.
Let's keep talking about me. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna shift because you're so uncomfortable. Okay, let's talk.
I love you, Joe. Thank you. I receive
true.
it, but it's weird.
People should know that.
Moving along.
Hey, I get to ask the question.
You can.
It's so great, isn't it?
I really feel uncomfortable right now.
That's right. When I come back on your podcast, you always make me feel so wonderful.
Let's just talk about me.
Let's talk about you.
Yeah. Okay.
How about talking about you?
Yeah.
What's the strangest thing that's ever happened to you in your call to mission? What's the weirdest
Strangest?
thing? Yeah. What's the weirdest thing that ever happened? Could be funny. Could be weird. Could be wild. Could be. What's the weirdest thing? Strangest, weirdest.
Weirdest thing.
You'll answer. What's the weirdest thing that ever happened to you on the mission field? How about that?
On the missions
I'm
field?
going to say that and make it easier for you.
I have a barrage of things going through my head.
I could tell 5 stories right now.
Yeah, I mean, I have seen things that
Do tell.
like so on the mission. I have been proposed to multiple times
Is that right?
with my wife standing next to me. I have seen things that I can never unsee, in the sense of like you will see weird medical conditions like at their fullest. Like I know what happens if this disease doesn't get treated for 30 years. Like what takes place, things that you would never imagine. I have been peed on, pooped on. Yeah, I've fallen into latrines more than once. Like, boom, I'm in.
This is going to strike up in people's hearts.
Yeah,
the need to go to the mission.
I have had, bot flies embed themselves in me and get picked out. I've had malaria multiple times. I have been confused as like a witch or a wizard, like a ghost. Like you go to a place where they've never seen a white person.
And they thought you were a wizard.
I've had people on the missions field think that I was a god. Like
Paul.
Legitimately. Like I'm going to worship you.
I can think of the T-shirts that I could make for you right now.
That happened once in India in a remote village, and it was weird. I don't know. I've had so many weird things happen to me. One time I prayed for a woman, and she had a tumor on her shoulder. I don't know if I can say this stuff.
I think you can.
And
it's all right.
and eventually, after, like, my wife was with me, after, like, we pulled her. Have you heard this story?
No.
We pulled her shirt down, and it was just a full boob on her shoulder with all the fixings. I don't know if I can say this.
Is it on the back?
On her back.
It's a full breast on her back.
Yes. My wife was there.
I clearly have not heard this.
I mean, yeah, I've seen some weird things. Overseas.
I'm pretty sure your
with
next
the poor.
book could be a bestseller if you write about all this.
I have had some very strange things happen, and I've seen some really weird things.
So if you had to sum up your on the mission field experience in one word, what's the word?
Beautiful. Perfection.
I love that.
It feels like home.
Wow. That's good.
Yeah.
Out of a third boob on a back. I mean,
listen, I don't know what it was, but I did call over the female ministry team after that. I was like, Moosey, I don't know what this is. Yeah. I've seen some really weird medical things, like the weird medical stuff you see.
Yeah.
In places where there's no medical. Yeah.
I've seen probably 1/4 of what you've seen because I've only been on the road for 12 years and I haven't. But the stuff I've seen, like, yeah, there's some times where you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I think, and not to get off on a squirrel, but the first time that I was in another country and watched the manifestation of demons, now clearly this was all new to me.
Mm-hmm.
I had never, and as exercise physiology, as an exercise therapist for almost 30 years, I could not believe the human body could actually do that. So I didn't do this. So I'm just going to out myself and wrap myself out. I didn't do anything about it at first, to take care of delivering that person because I could not figure out how that person got down the aisle of this building with no arms or legs.
Oh, yeah.
And on their stomach moving like a snake. I was like, okay, I know anatomy. That's not possible.
Oh, yeah. We've seen some stuff.
The first time I saw it, though, and then the second time I saw it, I did the exact same thing. I mean, I did go after the girl after she got to the whole back of the building. I did take care of it. Thank you, Jesus, that he's so kind. But I was flipped out. The next time it happened to me, I was sitting talking to somebody just like I'm talking to you, but there wasn't a microphone. It was having a conversation, and they flipped off the chair. Yeah. And same thing. And I was like, man, Lord. And the Lord's like, get a hold of yourself. I don't want people to be doing that. So now I don't, I clearly work on not letting people manifest, but there's some weird stuff out there. Yeah, no, I've seen people go totally demonized and go from being a normal person to being in chains for the rest, 7-8 years. Yeah. Still probably today. Yeah. I wouldn't say that's weird. I would say that's more sad. But there's crazy stuff that I've seen. And then we've seen in the spirit realm. And then we've seen on the other hand, somebody who has been chained forever, and then Jesus comes along. Yeah. You see stuff it's weird. I've seen darkness that I never want to ever see again, and I've had weird spiritual experiences on the field. Yeah, definitely on the field more than in the States. But we've had weird stuff happen in the States too. So I've had a lot of weird stuff happen. Yeah, there's just a lot, and I think when you live a life in obedience, you're going to see some stuff, and you see all throughout the scriptures weird things happen. 100%. And I don't know what Bible people are reading when they think weird stuff doesn't happen. It happens. It happens all the time. It happens. I remember being with Blaine Cook in Brazil. Blaine, he is so awesome, by the way. I've learned the most in my life from that man because I've never met anyone that partners with the Holy Spirit like him. Yeah. And he would poke me in the back and go, "What are you doing?" I'd be like, "I'm trying to pray for people. What are you doing?" You know? But he would teach me what the Lord was doing in the room, and I learned so much being on the mission field with him. And I was in a very rural place in Brazil, and he's like, "You're gonna fry. You're all about, pray for every single person in the room." I'm like, "That's what we're here for." And he goes, "No, you're here to follow the Spirit of God. And where God is going, this is what we do. Yeah, because you can't make it happen. What's wrong with you?" Right. So I mean, he was like direct, but that's good for me. And there was a moment when he's like, "Come back here with me," and where's God moving? And then was showing me how to follow the Lord. And this is year one, whatever, of me being out there. And I remember all these people standing off to the side, and they all had tumors on their body.
Yeah.
And so we had been going around and whatever, and then he's like, all right, you got it? And I'm like, I'm good. Like, I can do this now. And the Lord's like, go over to this side of the room. And I was looking over there going, and I felt this thing like I've told the story in our schools and stuff, because I felt this thing in my guts. It was like, I don't even know how to describe it. It was the Holy Spirit, but it was like righteousness of God coming out, like that. I don't know what. I'm not a quiet person, certainly, but I'm not a crazy, like, crazy person. Like I'm pretty rational.
Yeah. You very much are.
I'm very rational.
Yeah.
But I realize that when the Holy Spirit breaks out, I look kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm not crazy. And so
I would say the same thing. Yeah.
it's true. We have a lot of heady conversations.
Yeah.
But over there was what I was like, well, I don't know that I'm prepared to go do that, because I've never really prayed for people with tumors. But it was this thing that was coming out of my belly, and I was like, nope. And I remember like clamping my lips shut, thinking, I don't know what this thing is that's trying to come out, but it's like a sound. And I don't make sounds when I pray. Like, I don't do that. I pretty much do deliverance now in people's ears in a whisper. I like to protect their dignity, and I don't want to be a weirdo.
Right.
I don't like it.
Right.
And the Lord's like, go over there. And I'm trying to be radically obedient, because Blaine's just like ripped me up about not following the Lord. And I turn, and this sound comes out of my mouth. Like, it's like a fire coming out. And I was like, what in the world? Like, how embarrassing. It's like a big, like a roar, like a crate. And I was like, and at the moment that thing came out of my mouth, tumors fell off of people. And I burst into tears and fell in half, just sobbing, thinking, oh gosh, Lord, I like it when you come, but I don't like it when you come like in the weirdest way that I can't manage myself. I don't like that. And I've only had that happen like 3 times in my life. But I feel like when we're around the presence of God and he wants to do something a different way, we can be so glued to our patterns of praying and the way we 100%. Want to do stuff. And I wanted to ask you, because I've been around you sometimes when you're like, I don't really care what anyone thinks. I'm just going to do this thing. Is there a time that you could share when you felt like you're like out of your element and you're not really sure what to do, and then God just has you do something and you're shocked? Like, is there a story that?
I got more than one. And to the point where I've stopped telling them. Okay,
I want you to tell one, because I think it's very hard for people to break out and follow God and not do the same. You know, you've heard me tell stories about how now God's healing people sovereignly. Yeah. And he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm praying for people because I pray. And he's like, I already healed those 5 people. Like, you didn't even check in with me, or just by rote. So I don't know. I want you to tell the story.
I've had a bunch of different things that I felt like the Lord has had me do for reasons that I don't understand. You know, and so let me just tell you why I don't tell the stories anymore. Okay. At least the
big detail,
the big ones, because I used to tell them for the shock and awe. And to those who don't have context for it, it sounds like weird. I'm a nut job. Oh yeah. And there was one in particular where the Lord told me to pray for this young man. He was probably about 15, 16. He had a distended rib cage. Okay. And he came up and asked me for prayer. And the Lord said, I want you to do this thing. And I was like, and I did it. I'm just going to tiptoe around this, if that's okay. Absolutely. I did the thing that the Lord told me to do. Nothing crazy, but
out of your element.
Yeah. And he got touched and he fell down. Right. And I was like, booyah. Thank you, Lord. Right. Moving right along. And then a few minutes later, I felt a tap on my shoulders. I was praying for someone else. And he turned around and the kid was like, I said, oh, did God heal you? And he looked down at his rib cage and he's like, no. And he looked at me and said, I want you to do this. And he told me the thing that I didn't do that the Lord had told me before. And I just love that. I learned about Acts.
The kid who you're going to pray for.
He was like, I want you to do this thing. And it was a thing that I felt like the Lord told me to do that I didn't do.
Wow.
pray for him. And what I learned is acts of obedience, right? I think, and you see this all throughout Scripture, and they make people uncomfortable. Acts of obedience usually make people uncomfortable. Lower your friend through the roof. Right. Go wash yourself in the pool, but rub spit, right. And make mud. Like, that's unnecessary in the natural. And I think acts of obedience, they always will cost you a little bit of your pride. They'll always cost you a little bit of your comfort. For me, it comes out, the one that I struggle with the most is in the prophetic. If I feel like the Lord is saying, do this, like say this, or call out this thing, and you're like, this sounds so dumb. I'll give you an example. I was praying for a woman. I went to Dollywood.
Yes, a couple days
with
ago.
Jess. Jess and I are praying. Jess and I are praying for someone, and I'm praying for this woman, and she has her name tag on. It was like Helen. I think it was Helen. And I put my hands on her, and I'm like, all I hear over and over and over again, Mary, Mary, Mary. I was like, what was this like? Is it my
Lord,
mass?
her name tag says Helen.
Yeah, Mary, 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 and so finally, I'm trying to figure it out, and I think this is where the danger. Like sometimes the Lord says, just do it. So after we're done praying for her, and she was getting rocked, it was awesome. I was like, "Hey, do you have any sisters?" And she's like, "Yeah, I have 2." I was like, "Awesome, thank you, Lord." I was like, "Are they okay?" She's like, "Oh yeah, they're okay." I was like, "Is one of them Mary?" And she goes, "I'm Mary."
I read the same thing.
And I was like, "What?" She goes, "I'm Mary." I said, "But you're Helen." And she goes, "I'm Mary Helen." And I go by Helen, but my name's Mary. And I'm sitting there. This is just 4 or 5 days. I don't know.
Last weekend.
Yeah, 6 days ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, my fear just even now, 25 years.
Isn't it so crazy?
I still have this fear of being obedient. And last night I was ministering. I got this impression, and I'm like, I know that there's somebody in here. And I get up and I was like, there's somebody in here. You have a massive collection of memorabilia, like baseball, football, basketball. And there was maybe 40 people in the room at this point. There's not a lot of people. And where are you at? Nothing. Crickets. And I'm like, I said, guys, I know that I know. Crickets. Nobody came up to me afterwards. And so that's the tension, and I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
I want to take a risk. I'm not scared of looking foolish. And I wasn't like, "Thus saith the Lord." There's someone, I'm like,
never do that. Right?
I said, I was like, I'm gonna just go for something, and if this is someone. So even though I'm scared, even though I don't always, those obedient things, I'll still go for it. I just try not to make it as big of a deal as I used to.
How do you do that with, because I've done it. I can remember calling somebody out of a crowd and saying, you're a structural engineer. Out of, the guy's like,
yeah.
And I'm like, I know I heard you, Lord. That's totally weird. And then there's a guy that he's sitting next to, and the church is packed out,
right.
And shoulders are touching, right? And it turns out, this guy is looks angry to even be there. That I'm trying to prophesy.
Yeah.
And then I go to the next guy, and then I go, oh my gosh, you're the structural engineer. That's so weird. Their shoulders were touching.
Yeah.
And I totally missed it by a person. And
yeah.
I'm not saying we don't miss it, because we do miss it.
Yeah.
But it's what you do with the reaction of the room. So nobody answers, or a person answers and goes, no.
Yeah.
Or you get something and nobody ever claims it, and you know that you know that you know that you know.
Yeah, and then they come up afterwards.
Or 2 days later, or a week later, or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do with that? How'd you get over that?
So I've been on a journey.
Yeah.
In the prophetic, and it's something that I would say I first of all, it's not a gift that I would put in my toolbox as something consistent.
Yeah.
Up until the last kind of maybe couple of years, I would say it's a little bit more I don't know why, but I feel like I've grown in it.
I would venture to say that you are using it judiciously now.
More.
much more.
Yeah.
But not because you're on a platform either. You're actually using it in your daily life.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. Like,
yeah. I guess what I'm saying is like, I wouldn't consider it to be like this gift that I'm confident in. Like I can teach on a lot of other things. I feel confident in a lot of other things, but the prophetic is not something I feel confident in, which I know sounds weird to some people who know me flowing in that, but I'm just being honest. Like I don't wake up and I'm around people that really have the gift and they function at such a different level. So all that being said, there was a whole season when I was with Randy early on where it was like a year that I got phone calls every other week. Hey, you gave me a word. And I got questions. And I remember apologizing and like asking for forgiveness, even with ones that they misunderstood or they took the word wrong or and I went through a year of apologizing and feeling the weight. This was early on. I was traveling with Randy at this point. I will never forget. There was one night I was driving back. I was like 5-hour trip. And I had like 2 or 3 phone calls on that trip back from ministering somewhere. And it wasn't even from that night, but it was like people came up with, they were questioning the word. They were they had waited a season and it didn't take place. And you know me, I'm not a person that's like on this, like I don't do any of that stuff. But I went through a year of repenting and apologizing and I pulled back. And I've never forgotten that. And so now when I do feel that unction to give a word, I'm a lot more cautious in how I give it. And being around Larry has really helped me. It is because everywhere I go, people are like, he gave me a word and it changed my life.
Yeah.
And I sit with him and I listen to him give words and there's barely any direction. He just drops it and leaves it. Yes, as he hears. So I have, because when I was like growing around the prophetic movement, it was always about like the accuracy of the information. It was highly the word of knowledge was valued more than the prophetic. It was more about the accuracy of information. Than maybe the forthtelling.
I wouldn't say that it's not still that way, because it can be a circus.
So I would say maybe some of the culture that I grew up around, there was an emphasis put on the accuracy as a sign that you're hearing God. And I would also say that there was a season when I was going after accuracy to validate, so people would feel validated.
Wow.
By my word.
That's stressful.
And you know what I'm talking. You have to know what I'm talking about. Like you have to know that culture.
I don't think I've been in it. I haven't been in it that long.
Come on, you have. Maybe I'm not explaining it well. You've been around people that are like, you have this, this, and this, and the fact that they're giving that word and it's accurate is like faith rises in the room.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so I grew up around that, a lot of that.
Okay.
Where the accuracy of was like faith is rising, but it also validated the person giving the word. So it was like, I'm building this thing. And like, if I go and give 5 words of knowledge and they're not, I'm just telling you, this is what I feel like I'm taking, I'm just bearing my heart here.
It's really good that you're going there. I think it's interesting with prophecy, at least for me, the Lord's got to be in the room. There's got to be this anointing that falls. And whether I'm sitting there having dinner or I'm somewhere speaking, I have such a fear of God. I think that I'm just one of those blurting people. I know that shocks you. It just comes out. Yeah. And so if I think I don't want to do that unless God is on it. Yeah. Like I've watched people try to make prophecy a thing all the time. I don't think that it's possible for us to prophesy what's on God's heart unless God is in it, right? But I've seen people do that
Yeah.
because they just have an innate gift.
Yeah.
And I think I could do that sometimes. I just don't want to. I have a fear of God that I am doing something out of turn or out of season. I think the one thing that I learned about prophecy is that not every prophetic word is supposed to be released.
100%.
And I think I know more about some people and some things from God that I'm never supposed to say.
100%.
And that's the real measure of self-control,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. No, so I agree. I guess the point I'm making was like, as I've spent time making a lot of mistakes and recognizing earlier on maybe the deficiencies that I was, or the attention that I was looking for. I think being a father changes you. I think being a leader changes, right? So I know now if there's a weight that I wish I had when I was younger that I didn't have.
I don't think that's possible to have that.
But you know what I'm saying.
Totally.
So
but you have to do it,
right,
to understand.
And so making the mistakes, I think growing, I'm a lot less. I actually don't care about the accuracy of the detail, which is what I used to.
Right. So now you're just like,
now
whatever
I'm
God says.
Encourage, edify. That's that. I actually celebrate that more than just the high word of knowledge.
There's so much freedom in that.
Yeah.
I think that the Lord, in his kindness with prophecy and with words of knowledge, he's fascinating to me. I mean, we raise up teams, we turn people loose, and I think it's so interesting when you're trying to teach people to prophesy or teach them to give words of knowledge, and they're like, I don't have anything. I don't have anything. And I remember having this young guy in our ministry where he's 17, and I said, then just get one. And he's like, I don't have one. I go, get one. And he's like, it wasn't going anywhere.
Right.
He's like, I don't. And I said, then make one up.
Whoa. What do you mean? Okay. Explain that to me.
So I said, so he goes, what do you mean? So we had this dialogue. I said, if you wanted God to heal, like we were talking about healing, what is the one thing in the world that you would want God to heal? Like, what is that thing? And he said, rheumatoid arthritis, because that's what I have.
Yeah.
And I said, awesome. I said, do you think that's on the heart of God? And he said, yeah.
Yeah.
I said, then let's give that as a word of knowledge, because he was so scared. It's the first time he's ever been in front
I get
of
what
people.
you're saying.
He can't think. And I'm like trying to be a mom, but I'm trying to, kick him at the same time. Dude, come on. You know how to do this. You do it in private all the time. You can't do it in public because you're too freaked out about what. Yeah. But he's young and I love him. And in the moment when he said that, I thought, okay, Lord, you're so kind. You're such a father. You're such a better parent than I'll ever be. And he gives that word and he's looking at me terrified. And I'm like, no, you have this. Come on, you can do this. He says rheumatoid arthritis and he has 5 people line up.
Yeah.
And every single person that he prays for gets healed of their symptoms in the moment, right? To check later, we don't know because people leave. But it was a moment where I thought, wow, you can't leave the Lord out of this equation of prophecy and words of knowledge. No. Like he's a father and he's going to do something beautiful to encourage people. And what's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen God do on the mission field?
Oh, so many things.
Tell me your favorite.
Can I actually tell you one of my favorite, one of my most favorite?
Yes, please.
Was in Tasmania.
Ooh, I've never been to Tasmania. Tell me about that.
It's great. I love Tasmania. Moosey and I almost bought property there. We loved it so much. It's stunning. I was at this, I don't know why, but this one, I have a couple theories, but this one just, it's one of my favorite testimonies. Okay. I'm in this little teeny town in the middle of nowhere. It was just middle of nowhere. And we were at a school gymnasium because it's like the only gathering place we're at this gymnasium in a school. I believe it was a school gymnasium. And I'm talking maybe 50, 60, 70 people. And they're all like, there's no young people. It's very, it's just little backwoods. You ever been to places where not a lot of people come through? Mm-hmm. And I was there like 3 or 4 nights. And this was at the tail end of a trip to China, Indonesia, Australia, and then Tasmania, which is Australia as well. Like it was almost a month on the road with my family.
Wow.
And I'm there, and this was like one of the last few trips. This was the last trip before we flew home. So I'm exhausted, and I get to this place, and it was like I was speaking another language. I'm talking about the Lord. I'm pulling out my best messages for these people, and they're just like, and nothing was happening. And then, so this was the last night. I get up to go and preach, and I was just so upset. I'm like, I don't know what the heck you guys want. Like, and I probably shouldn't, I kind of let them have it. And I'm like, all you guys you've been here for like 4 nights in a row. I don't know why you're even coming. Like, did
you say all this?
Yeah. Oh. Like, I don't even know what we're doing here.
Bet you're going to get an invitation
like,
back.
What are we doing here? I don't remember all of it, but I remember like just being not happy.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what are we doing? Like, I'm not, these meetings are like, we're going after something. And it was just like, there was a bunch of old people. And every night there was this dude on the left-hand side that just had gray hair, and he would just eyeball me up and down. Like, and it was like, I know that I'm being judged. I know that like, it was the worst. And so I am frantically pacing, and I'm like, I don't even know if you even know what the word hunger means. Like, you don't think you're just because you're in the backwoods that you get to not engage with the Lord. Like hunger looks like something, thirst looks like something. And like, so I get to this point where like, I don't even care anymore. I just don't care. I'm getting on a plane tomorrow. I think I even said that. Like, I'm going to just do whatever I want. I'm done giving like these messages and you guys just staring at me. And I go, sir, stand up. And I point at the gray haired guy. And I'm like, stand up. And I was like, I'm going to edify this guy who's been mean mugging me for friggin' 3 nights. And I give him this word of like, the Lord loves the way that you care for the flock and you guard people and you're cautious about who comes in. And I gave him this word about how the Lord, had him on this council and blah, blah. I forget.
Yeah.
But as I'm giving him this word, the power of God just comes in the room. Okay. And all I remember was people started running forward. And I think I was, giving a message on hunger. And so I leave them and I start walking over the chairs towards this guy who's like, just still mean mugging me. And as I get closer, I'm like prophesying over him, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden I hear this, and then boom, this guy tackles him. And they fall to the ground. And I'm like, what's happening? And as he tackles him, he goes, I always loved you. Like, I always loved you.
You're like,
I'm like, what the heck is happening?
On?
So, rewind 30 years, 35 years ago. These 2 guys are like at a church together.
Okay.
And they're like the leaders in the community.
Okay.
And they had a split. They had a feud that was like gripping them and gripping the town.
30 years prior.
35 years prior. And as I'm giving this guy this word, the other guy who's sitting on the opposite side, they won't talk to each other, but it's a small town. So like, they sat on opposite sides of the room. 35 years, as I'm prophesying over it, this guy, conviction hits the guy.
My God.
And he runs over, just tears streaming down his face. And so he tackles him. They're hugging like, I always loved you. I'm sorry. And they repent to each other in front of me. And it's all like, I don't know everything that's going on. And then as soon as they do that, the power of God just hits the place. And to me, it was one of the most beautiful representations of the gospel and the power of forgiveness.
Wow.
We always talk about healings and miracles, but the act of forgiveness, I saw it that day. I saw the chains that bind people in anger and hatred and disappointment and what it can do to a community, what hatred, and like, we're still going to church. We're still doing our thing.
Right.
We just separate ourselves. And I saw the power of forgiveness and repentance in a way that to this day, and this was, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, it's actually one of my favorite testimonies in ministry.
Never heard you tell that story. That is amazing.
I love it. There's nothing, the cross is alive and well. And all you have to do is just cry out. And boom, the power of God fell. And it was an amazing night. We got up early in the morning. A Tasmanian devil ran across the road as we were driving away. Somebody's like, that's crazy. We never see him in the wild. I was like,
finished.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm out of here. Get me out.
Have you been back?
Once after that. Yeah.
Did you ever go back to that place?
Not to that like hall, but to the town. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever see those guys?
No.
You know, that's the thing about bringing the gospel to places you may never go again. And it's a privilege, isn't it?
Yeah.
In every way. It's the hardest life. Yeah.
It is.
What's the one thing you can't live without on the road?
One thing I can't live without on the road.
Besides coffee.
My headphones.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I have a, here, toss my bag. I'll show you.
Let's see.
So this is my, actually, I just
Thanks,
can't live without
Annalise.
this. This is my go-to.
Yeah. I watched you in church one time reach in there and take out some pain relievers for your head.
These, yeah, I do. I got a whole pharmacy. I can't live without these. Or headphones of some sort.
Are those the ones you said I needed to get?
These are the Apple ones. My wife got them for me for my birthday. I love them. This.
And what is that?
I can lose
your shaving kit.
Everything. This I cannot lose. My wife actually got this for me for my birthday too. So I have like
organized.
a myriad of credit cards to get me out of situations. I have I can't believe I'm going to share this. I have gold and silver in here.
Just in case the economy collapses.
No, I'm not that guy. You never know what happens. I've been in situations where I have to
trade.
You have to get out of a situation.
I know. Yes.
So it's
exactly
like emergency. Mm-hmm. I usually carry a fairly large amount of cash in here.
That's a good idea.
I have multiple. I have my here. Look at this.
And you have your passport in there and all your.
This is my old Mozambican missionary. Let me see. Where's the camera? There. That's my old missionary.
That's you when you were 12.
That's my Mozambique document. I have. These are 2 of my 3 passports. So I have all my old.
They all don't have the same names though.
Look at that! Look at that bad boy.
You look like you're 12.
Look at this thing. I had another one equally thick, so I don't leave home without this. Like this is on me at all times.
So you carry all your passports with you? Your old one, expired ones?
Yeah, because there's visas in it still. I have a couple of visas in it. So I have I have a whole bunch of international currencies.
You just have like the whole missionary set.
I can get out of anything and get into anything just with this. I have like different forms of ID in here. I have my PADI diving certification.
We don't want to tell anybody what other names are on all those cards.
My PADI. I got credit cards. So this thing is my.
I love it.
I can't say silver and gold. I have none.
No, you had a couple of.
I actually just took the gold out.
So you have silver. Gold.
Yeah, I just have
gold.
Silver.
You have none in your bag.
I can't live without these.
What are those?
This is my travel. Like
what is this?
These are highlighters that don't bleed for Bible.
Wow.
What else do I have? I have welding magnets. Because who knows when you need to weld a nice 90-degree angle.
This is your missionary backpack.
This is my life.
Everyone needs one. I'm going to get these highlighters. Is that the name of it, or is somebody telling you belong?
It's the name of it. I don't know. What else do I got?
Belong highlighters. Okay.
And then I don't leave home without this. Was this what you were? I don't know what you wanted. That's
what I was going for. Yeah.
I don't know what you wanted.
And what is that you have in your hand? It's just a pen.
This is a pen that Heidi gave me when I became CEO.
And
And she said you're going to be signing documents. you need a nice pen. So it's a Mont Blanc. She gave it to me for my birthday.
That's a very nice pen.
And I love that pen. It is, I've had it for 10 years now. And,
it still writes.
Yeah, it's a Mont Blanc. Do you know what a Mont Blanc is?
I have no clue. It's very nice, though. I don't know what Mont Blanc is.
Mont Blanc is like it's a Swiss made.
Swiss made.
Yeah, Swiss made.
I just got a real watch for the first time in my life.
How many watches have you been given?
Many.
Yeah?
Mostly I've been given, people gave me wedding rings for a long time.
What does that mean?
Not wedding rings, engagement rings.
People give me like triple extra large t-shirts.
No.
I'm like, what the heck?
That was your old life.
I still get them.
Triple extra.
Maybe not triples, but I get some doubles.
No, I get diamond engagement rings. Like
What the heck?
So here's the story on that.
I get fatties t-shirts.
But I have given them away to the young spiritual children in my life who need wedding engagement rings for their fiancés.
Do you know who gets? Heidi gets wedding rings.
It's a thing. I get them and I give them away, and they become the wedding rings of these poor missionaries on our team that have no money.
Yeah.
And they're the most beautiful stories. And so I think because I tell those stories, then people give me more rings, and then I wait for the next person to come along, and then
It's great.
Even my son, he's like, Mom, I want to marry Izzy, but I don't have any money for a ring. And I was like, just a moment.
Yeah.
And this was one that somebody bought me, and they said this random thing. I was in a jewelry store, and the Lord said, buy this ring for Joe. It wasn't my size. It was too big. And I was like, it's a engagement ring. I already have a wedding ring. I'm already married. So I put it in a box with its papers and the whole thing. And then my son said, years later, it's just sitting there, and my son says, and I go, by chance, is she this size? And he looks at me and he goes, yes. And I go, just a minute.
I love it.
And my son was quite far from the Lord at that moment.
Yeah.
And I went and got that ring, and I brought it in, and he goes, Mom, where did you get this? And I said, let me tell you the story about how God worked upstream, 18 months ago, had this ring sent to me, not my size, it's her size, and there you go. And I said, and it's got papers, and it's beautiful. And he goes, it's exactly what she would want.
That's so cool.
So now my daughter-in-law wears that ring, and that's the story of that person who followed God. And so
I love that.
that's cool.
I love that.
Yeah, then there's many stories like that.
I get given prophetic art. Do you get given prophetic art? All the time.
I have some really great prophetic art in my house, and then I have some other things that are
That was yesterday.
okay. And
This was a little child though, so I actually
I
love
that.
this.
What is that? Is that
It's a doc. Yeah, it took a minute to figure it out, but it's a doc. But I get given prophetic.
Okay.
I get given pictures.
And so
of
what is
prophetic
it?
art
What does
all
it
the time.
actually mean?
I don't know. It means that I'm loved by a little one in our church.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I get given
If it
art
was-
all the time.
I don't get it as much as you probably get it.
Someone gave me this yesterday or the day before. I get given weird things. You get jewelry.
Hey, I get some odd stuff too. I have a bunch of.
I got given this like 2 days ago.
I have a bunch of those.
I love
Yeah.
it.
The greatest. Okay, I'm going to ask you two more questions.
Sure.
What's the weirdest gift you ever got?
The weirdest gift? Go to the next question. Let me think about this.
Okay,
Because
I
I got a
wanna-
bunch of weird ones.
Okay, what's your favorite weird gift?
Guinea pigs. that we ate, that we had to eat.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Were they
That's
somebody
fun.
like Ralph and Suzette?
No.
They
just,
were the
just
gifts.
guinea pigs. Yeah, the edible guinea pigs.
I used to raise guinea pigs when I was a kid, and we did not eat them.
Yeah, the Congo.
Oh no.
Yeah. I've been given. There's stuff I can't talk about.
I was going to say, I was
Yeah.
going to share one, and then I realized,
Yeah, I've been given some weird things. I've been given a lot of incredible gifts.
yes, I have.
As well. They're some of the most generous people
Yes,
out there.
Incredible.
I've been given some. I was given a house once. Yeah,
I know somebody that was given a house.
yeah, that was
Amazing.
awesome.
That is amazing.
That was awesome. Yeah, it was amazing. I've been given some crazy things, man. But yeah, goats, guinea pigs.
And it wasn't here in Nashville.
No. But what I don't like are the things that you're given that it's like insinuating something. They're like somebody
instance.
just like I was wearing flip flops when I spoke, like last
somebody
week,
bought you
and someone
shoes.
was like, "Here's $20 for shoes," and I'm like, "What the heck?" Like, I actually wore these on purpose. I'm not poor. So that kind of stuff all the time.
Oh my gosh.
I've been given like used shirts with like dog hair in them, which is great. I've been given. I was given once like somebody was like, "Here, my wife and I want you to go on vacation," and they gave us like a coupon that they got at like a mall for a timeshare like thing. They're like, "Take this and you can go on vacation. It's a free vacation."
no.
But it was like a flyer,
no.
and that's fun. I've been given surgery.
What?
Yeah,
What?
like someone came up to me and was like, "I want to give you surgery,"
If you need surgery
Yeah.
of any kind, I'd like to give
and
you
I got surgery. It was my left knee. In fact, I just saw the doctor that did it, like, 20 years ago.
That's an amazing gift.
Yeah, I had a bum knee, like really bad. They
And he
said
was
I had,
like-
they said I had the knees of an 80-year-old obese woman. When I was like 21. Yeah, and they did surgery on my knee. Dr. Joe, she's amazing. Actually, her name's Joe. Yeah.
That's amazing.
I've been given, I don't know, tons of weird things. Yeah.
But sometimes,
And I've given a lot of weird gifts too.
I have to.
Yeah.
Sometimes people come along and hand you something, and you're like, that is straight from the Lord.
Yeah.
And other times you're like, I really don't know
Yeah.
what planet.
I have a plethora of books.
Yes, lots.
I
and
get
lots of
given
books.
books
Yeah, me too.
all the
And
time.
people write in them to me. They write
Yes.
messages to me.
And I usually keep them. Usually.
Something I learned from somebody who shall remain nameless, who we both know and love very well, is often you get given a lot of gifts that you cannot fit in your bags
All the time.
because you've been on the road for 3 weeks and
All the time.
there's no way that you can take that back. And so it's always hard if you want to take it back. Like
Yeah.
I was just in Brazil, and amazing area known for their cheese, and
Yeah.
Minas Gerais in that area.
Yeah.
And I was talking about the cheese.
I like the way you pronounce Minas Gerais.
Minas Gerais.
You're like, Minas Gerais.
Minas Gerais.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Anyway, and I didn't know it was a cheese region, and we were talking about food or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the sweetest people, they bring me not just a cheese, but like I'm talking bowling ball of cheese, 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm going to take it to my husband because he's a cheese eater. And so there are times when you just figure out how to make that sucker work in your bag.
Yeah.
But 10 pounds of cheese and then the whatever that caramel stuff is that they
Oh,
serve that.
dulce de leche. Dulce de
that
leche.
stuff.
Yeah.
And then some other guava.
Yep.
some-
Dulce de guayaba. Love that
those
stuff.
two things.
Oof.
I mean, it had to weigh.
You got yourself
I
a
am
lunch right there,
not
Joanne
exaggerating,
Moody.
18 pounds of cheese and
God.
accoutrements. And I put all that stuff in my bag and it almost killed our bus driver because he couldn't even pick it up. And I was flying back business class, so you can have all that.
You can have
poundage
30 pounds of
in your
cheese.
luggage. But there are some times when you just have to
Oh, yeah.
suck it up and take the stuff.
I've been given a lot of weird things, and I love it. just
You're a collector
give it to
anyway.
me. I am.
Once I went to Will's house.
Let's not talk about it.
There was a okay, this is my last question.
Yeah.
And there was a fish tank, and I was like, what are you doing in there?
Yeah.
And
Which
you were-
one?
I think it was the one where you were growing multiple colored
Yeah.
snails or
Shrimp. I'm a shrimp breeder. Let's not talk about it. I do like me some shrimp.
There's always something going
They're
on. in your house.
neocardina shrimp. Don't worry about
Yeah.
it.
Do you get to eat them?
I have hobbies.
Okay.
I could eat them.
Are they edible?
Yeah, anything's edible. Joe, when you're a missionary, anything's edible. I just talk about eating guinea pigs. Yeah,
No. Okay, I have one more question for you, and then we're
Sure.
going to do a lightning round with coffee.
great.
Okay. Tell me how you and Moosey influenced. Here we go.
Oh, wow. Okay.
How did
Last
you-
question.
Okay, last question. How did you influence your children for the gospel? Because your children, although Josiah's young still,
Yeah.
but watching your children choose Jesus, even in their wrestling, even in the stuff
Yeah.
they were going through, how did you influence? Because it really helps people who are who love Jesus and their kids aren't choosing or they don't know what to do anymore. It really helps to talk about like what you did do that.
I think don't let your kids around hypocrites.
Wow. Say more about that.
And don't be a hypocrite. Hypocrisy kills innocence in children. It kills their ability to believe God.
What was the thing that you were talking about some years ago with?
Did I not answer it the way that you
Josh?
wanted me to?
You did, but this has to do with investment. Like I love those things that, don't be a hypocrite and don't let them around hypocrites. But there was also, we can be religious with our children and not religious with other people. And you did something, you made a conscious decision some years ago to play video games with your son.
That's a long story.
But you did it, people would be like, video games, whatever. But you were doing it in an intentional way to connect with him.
Yeah. I'll give you the 2-minute version. Are you ready?
Yeah,
so if you go to the last verse in the Old Testament, it's Malachi. Malachi.
Hearts of the Father.
Yep. So this hit me hard. This really hit me hard. Malachi 4, verse 5. See, I'll send the prophet Elijah before the great and dreadful day of the Lord comes. Verse 6. And he will turn the hearts of fathers to their children, and the hearts of children to their fathers, or else I'll strike the land with a curse. And then you flip it over to Matthew 1. And how does it start? Genealogy. Family. God ends the Old Testament with family, starts the New Testament with family. What it says in Malachi is hearts are more important than agreement. And I think most parents are looking for agreement. Heart has nothing to do with agreement.
Wow.
And so you can totally disagree with your kids. You can totally disagree with your spouse and still maintain heart. If you can maintain heart, the connection, the ability to open up, then you will always have a way to speak into your children and a way to call them higher. And so I only know this, at least for me with my kids, I lost my son's heart one day, and the Lord took me on a journey to regain it. And first of all, our kids are our responsibility.
Yes, 100%.
And I think, I meet with parents all the time. They're like, the enemy's doing this, the enemy's doing that. Garbage. Garbage. No, if they're in your house, that's you.
That's right.
That's me.
That's you.
That's me. I understand when they're 18. I understand when they move out. But if they're in my house, that is my tabernacle, right? And I either allow things or don't allow things. And I'm not saying by force. What I'm saying is, if you're in my house, then you're going to do some things. You're not going to run away when it comes time for conflict. You're not going to so I found that if I can maintain heart, not agreement, but just heart, like
such a great distinction.
Then I'll always have the ability to speak into their lives. And so I've done the best I can to fight for that. And I've made a bunch of mistakes. But yeah, what you're talking about is when my son was about 11 and I hurt him very badly. And the Lord told me to get rid of all the rules. And we had all of these issues with him. And they were stupid issues. It was like you're not doing the basics.
And he's the firstborn, and so you're parenting. You don't, with the firstborn, you're just trying to work it out.
Yeah, and so all that being said, I ended up playing video games with him in the morning, and not just playing video games with him, but I said, "You're going to teach me how to play."
Wow.
And because all the time we're trying to tell others, our kids, what to do.
Yeah.
But teach me something, and if you can maintain that heart connection, then yeah. I got my son's heart back in just a couple days. And we still play video games almost every day.
And he's exceptional.
Yeah.
As is your daughter and your youngest boy. One of my, we're going to close this out, but I was over at your house and a couple days ago, and Josiah said, "Dad, I really want you to go. You were so tired, and you've got so much going on right now, and there's just a lot going on in ministry world, and just, I mean, your children are all beautiful, but that boy is just adorable."
Yeah.
But he looked at you and said, "Dad, I just really want you to go." And we were talking about Dollywood.
Yeah.
Just really want you to go. And I looked at your face, and you looked down at me, and I just knew, oh, you're going.
Yeah.
Because he wanted the experience with you.
Yeah.
And that is, to be very present with your children is an intentional decision.
Yeah.
And I've watched you do it.
Yeah,
and
it's hard.
Beautiful.
It's hard when there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
I said, don't be hypocritical, and don't let your kids around hypocrites.
Yeah.
That speaks of you being in our life, right? I don't surround my family.
The family is authentic. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
But the people that come in,
yes, it's true.
the people that we welcome in, they're incredible. And so I would say, yes, we have our strategies,
Right.
but it's also the community that you maintain and the ones that you have in. Like, my kids would not be where they're at if it wasn't for you and Jess and Julia and a lot of people that have poured into my family. And we used to just kind of let anybody in.
I think it's wonderful that you don't. I mean, your children are, as all our children are, they're the most priceless treasure that we've been given. And it would be so easy for children whose parents are missionaries to be tainted or to, and it is true. I mean, the people that are in your life are your real friends.
Yeah.
They're your real family. And we do meals together and holidays when everybody's around. And it's just wonderful to get texts from your kids. Hey,
they love you.
Well, I love them. And it's like, hey, can we go do something? Can we go to coffee? Can we go, and I was just, when I was out in Pennsylvania, and your son texted me on the last day when I ran out of time, which is just always the time.
Just the
He's
worst.
like, Miss Joe, don't you have time to go to coffee? And I'm like, dude, I'm out like 6 a.m. Why don't you text me earlier?
Yeah.
But there's this thing about being able to do life with people that you truly love and admire. And I'm super grateful for you in my
Thank
life.
you. Oh, it's Joe. Stop.
Seriously,
I love you.
I just love you and Moose and the kids. And I'm so grateful that you were on this. We're gonna drink some coffee now, which
Anytime.
is your favorite thing.
I love it.
We're going to have what's called a cup with Joe.
A cup of Joe.
A cup of Joe
with Joe.
And we're going to do a super fun lightning round of your favorite kind of questions, and then I'm going to let you go.
Okay.
So you can actually have
Let's do it.
a day. Can we do it?
I would love that.
Okay. This is my favorite thing, a cup of Joe, because
Do you have coffee now, Joe?
I am drinking coffee on this show.
No, are you?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm interrupting. I
Okay.
will shut up.
So Will, everybody that comes on the podcast, we pray long and hard about what coffee best describes them. And I just want you to know that Kylie, who works with us, she went around the world to try to figure out, because I said, this is Will.
Yeah.
This is my buddy Will. And she said, well, I think that the greatest coffee would be Wild Goose.
Stop.
So she got this coffee, and that's what we're going to drink.
Yes.
Okay, so that's going to be
this actually is, do you know what Wild Goose is?
I have no idea.
You don't know? You don't know?
No.
Wild Goose is the Celtic symbol for the Holy Spirit.
She didn't even know that.
I have a whole teaching on it.
Get out of here.
It's what the Celts, they didn't give it a dove. They didn't give the image a dove. It's a wild goose.
So
because it's noisy, it's out of control, it'll bite you.
That was all the things that I thought.
I love it.
It's noisy, out of control, and it will bite you. I thought, what? That's Will Hart.
Stop. That's awesome. Thank you.
Wild Goose coffee. Okay, now here's the thing. So that's going to be yours, and you're going to pick that coffee up, and we are going to drink it together, and then you're going to say whatever you think it tastes like. All right, ready? Set. Go. Ooh. I'm not sure about this coffee.
It tastes like coffee.
It has
It's a little sour.
Bite.
Yeah. Is this what we're drinking right now? The Wild Goose? Tastes like a goose got into it. It's good.
No.
It's mellow.
No, I don't like it.
It's mellow with a little bit of citrus. It's got a little citrus in it.
I'm
not a connoisseur.
I think it's terrible.
You give me Folgers with flavor crystals, and I'll love the Lord.
I'm going to let you pick your bag of coffee. This is not, I don't like this coffee.
Who made it?
Zach.
That could be your issue right there.
Okay, you can keep drinking it
like
or
it.
not, or
I
you
like
can go
it.
back to your
It's not bad.
other. Ugh, I don't like it at all.
I'll have yours.
I liked the last one. Ugh. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would you choose and why? 2 seconds.
Cartoon character, who would it be? God, 2 seconds. What is happening? Cartoon character. I don't watch cartoons.
Oh my
Papa
gosh.
Smurf. I don't know. Like, what the heck?
Papa Smurf. Why would you
I don't
be
watch
Papa Smurf?
cartoons.
You had children.
Okay, Pluto.
Okay, why would you be Pluto?
I don't know. Is it a dog? Is it a human? Nobody knows. I want to know. I don't know what it is. What is not Pluto? Is that it? Pluto?
Pluto's a Disney character.
Yeah. Who's the one that's got the dog thing? It's always confuses me.
I think it's a dog.
Him and
a
Daffy Duck.
human.
They're just confusing.
I like Elmer Fudd.
Pluto has a dog, right? Or is Pluto the dog
Pluto is
of,
the dog.
of who?
Mickey.
No.
No?
Guys, this is a thing. I've thought about this before. Okay? There is a character that looks like a dog, but they have a dog. I think it's Pluto. I'll look it up. We'll figure this out.
I think that, I don't know. I don't
Anyway,
think Pluto has a dog.
They're a little demonic looking.
If you could have any living person for dinner, for dinner.
Mary. Oh, living?
Living. Oh, I should ask you.
Dead Mary.
Dead Mary?
I
Why?
want to
Okay.
sit with that woman.
You want to sit with Mary and ask her why
100%.
why
100.
she did what she did?
No, I want to know because I've raised a teenage girl, and there was something on her life that just like I want to know what she was like. I totally want to know what she was like. That's
a good one.
Yeah, Mary.
Okay, how about a live person? If you could have any live person over for dinner that you've never had over for dinner, who would it be?
Any live person over for dinner, who would it be? I would want to hang out with Daniel Day-Lewis.
And why?
I just think he's awesome. Awesome actor.
He's an amazing actor.
I don't know. I would
Last
change
of the
that answer.
Mohicans.
That's probably my
That
favorite
was the
movie.
favorite.
That is actually probably my favorite movie ever. So that's probably why. Who would I want to meet with? If I could hang out with anyone, I would want to spend time. I don't know. I literally have no clue. I don't know these things.
I love that you don't know.
I don't
This is
think
great.
about this stuff.
Okay, if you could add any word to the dictionary, what word would you add and what would it mean?
If I could add any. Joanne Moody, this is off. This is hard. If I could add any word to the dictionary,
Yeah. You don't have
it would be
any made up words.
humblebee.
What would it mean?
It's Moosie's, my wife's word for hummingbirds. She called them humblebees
That's so cute.
forever. She makes up words all the time
It's because
because
English is
she
your
speaks
second.
Spanish. She'll be like, "Oh, the humblebee." I was like, "Whoa, time out. That's amazing." Number one, I'm buying the domain already bought.
Humblebee.
Yeah, humblebees.
That's a great
Yeah.
name.
I like it. She used to
That could
call
be a-
hummingbirds that humblebees.
That would be a great website.
Yeah, true
Yeah.
story.
I love that. Okay. Would you rather do teleportation or fly?
Teleportation or fly? Mm-hmm. Teleport.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Me too.
I don't like heights.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like this question. If you had 25 hours a day, how would you spend that extra 1 hour?
sleep. 100%.
I know you would, too.
Final answer: I would sleep.
Okay. Would you rather be invisible or read minds?
Weird. Who's coming up with these questions? Invisible.
You don't like them?
Invisible, so I could
love
sleep.
them. Favorite grocery item?
Friggin' fig Newtons all day long.
That's not what I thought
All day
you said. I have
long.
never seen
Give
you
me
eat
some
a
fig
Newton.
freaking
That must be a
Newtons.
Massachusetts thing.
No, not at all. You give me fig Newtons,
Yeah.
and I'm a connoisseur.
A fig Newtons.
I'll tell you all about all the brands.
Get out
Which,
of here.
yeah,
Who knew?
Walmart, Target.
I know what to get you for Christmas.
Trader Joe's Fig Newtons are probably some of the best
because
that
they're
are
probably
made.
real. Like real.
No. I give me the fake ones. I would like, if you were to say, Will, do you want Walmart Fig Newtons or Fig Newton brand Fig
You would
Newtons?
go
Walmart. All day.
Disgusting.
Ah,
Corn
so
syrup
good.
solids and everything bad for you.
Tastes like Jesus.
Oh my gosh. What's the best thing you cook?
I can do.
You're a great barbecuer, I'll say that.
I can do seafood pretty well because I grew up in New England.
Except when we had that crawfish boil at your
That's
house.
not seafood. That's swamp food. There's a difference.
I was like, what in the world?
And that was the first time I'd ever done it.
It's
That is
like,
not seafood.
It wasn't that you didn't do it right. It was just that, what is all the work to shell that
It's fun.
thing,
It's like
which is
communal activity, Joe.
I liked being in the community. I just didn't like it was like little bugs.
I like seafood. I can cook it
Yeah.
pretty well.
That's your
Yeah.
East Coast coastal thing.
Yeah.
If you could teach a class on one thing, what would it be?
I would teach a class on how to. 10 cautions to look for when marrying a Latina.
I think that could be your next book.
Oh, it's called Oops, I Married a Latina. It's going to be bestseller.
I was trying to promote your book and called God Runner, but
Godrunner.
you wouldn't let anybody buy it because
I bought up all the extra
I
copies.
think everyone should write on this podcast that they would like to read God Runner.
Listen,
it's a really,
you
I read
get
it.
in line.
It's a good book.
Listen, it's great. It was just earlier time in my life, and yeah,
Silly.
people love it. But yeah,
If you could speak any language, what would it be?
Mandarin.
That
Or
could-
no. Hold on. Mandarin. Can I give 3?
Yeah.
Mandarin, Greek, Hebrew. Yeah.
Why do you want to speak Greek? For study?
Bible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bible.
Yeah.
Bible. Learning. Just using the tools for Greek and Hebrew is great.
That is true.
But I wish
I
I had that. Yeah.
I wish I did too.
My friends that can read it, it's a
Game
very
changer when you're
jealous.
studying. I wish I would have taken. I just couldn't do it. This summer was the first summer I've had off from school in whatever how many years,
Yeah.
forever. And I wanted to take Hebrew
Yeah.
or not Hebrew. I wanted to take Greek this summer, and I just couldn't. My brain was like,
How cool would it be to actually be able to read Greek?
my friends
read
that can do
Hebrew.
it, like what a game changer for every time they open the Bible. Mm-hmm. And then I'm over there laboring away trying to look everything up. It's just like, wow.
Yeah. It's incredible. Definitely Greek, Hebrew, and then Mandarin.
Yeah. You're doing really well. We're slower than 2 seconds, but it's okay.
Okay. 2 seconds. I don't like the pressure.
How would you change
going.
your life today if the life expectancy was 400 years?
I would not write a book called Oops, I Married a Latina because I'm going to have to live with that for 400 years.
I hope Moosey listens to this.
What would I change?
Yeah. Or what would you add? Or what would you?
What would I add?
Yeah.
I'd invest a lot wiser. Yeah. I'd put a lot more money in things. I'd buy as much land as humanly possible.
Because 400 years
400
is a long
years.
time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, baby.
Dude.
I'd be so
What
wealthy.
if that was what it was like back in the days?
Oh, I regret. There's so many times I wish I bought land and I didn't.
But
we didn't have any money.
We should have bought land when we got here.
Yeah.
Let's
not talk about it.
We all didn't have any money to do it.
We didn't have
but
money.
We should have. Yeah.
I had no money.
Well, you could buy a house here or you could buy land, but then you have no place to live
Right.
if you buy land.
Right.
And that was the dilemma.
Yeah.
And not good. Okay, if you were a superhero, who would you be?
Superhero?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't watch any of the superhero stuff. Aquaman.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm a diver.
What's that guy's name that plays that character?
I don't know.
I never saw
Heath Ledger. No, I don't know. I have no idea. He's some.
You know why I know that movie? Because on every plane that I was on for like whatever that season was that movie was out, everybody was watching that. And I was like,
I don't know.
I
don't watch a lot of
stuff.
I mean, I do, but I don't know.
You're learning
I like
different
swimming. I like diving. Let me dive.
So you'll be Aquaman.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
That works.
And I already have the gift of teleportation, so whatever.
What's your favorite physical activity? Or sport?
I love fighting. I love UFC.
MMA.
Yeah, love it. Absolutely love
You were
it.
going to those fights for a while, weren't you?
I've never been to one. I've been invited to. I love
Maybe
it.
that's what I remember.
I flipping love it.
What do you love
Everything about it.
It was like a big deal in Hawaii back in the day.
I just think, first of all, like people, it's violence. I don't like violence for violence sake, but I've met more than one person in the UFC.
And the
and
strategy.
They're the sweetest humans.
Yeah.
And it's not forced. It is like, it's something that they train their whole life for. They love it. And I just think it's so pure.
It's an interesting sport. It came to Hawaii back in the 90s and with the Gracie brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Who, one of them moved.
Jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm. One of them moved and they did jiu-jitsu first and they did their dojos and then they did MMA. And it was like took over the islands.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah. There's incredible fighters out of Hawaii.
Just in
I love it. I just
shape.
think, so I like hunting. I like fishing. I like diving. I like the things if the world were to start all over again, they would all be there.
Somehow that would suit you.
Yeah, like you might not have basketball, but 100% you're gonna have farming. You know, you might not have the luge or whatever people do, but you might not have baseball, but you're definitely gonna have two dudes going at it.
I was reading a book by The Story of Christianity last night, like in my spare time because of school, and Mike, my husband, leaned over and he goes, "What is that guy saying? Pregnancy to women is like war to men." He goes, "What does that even mean?"
What does that mean?
It's like women are, I think the whole context of it was like women will and are born to have babies.
Yeah.
Men are born for war. And I was like, because it was all about World War I, then World War II, and then on and on. And I was like, I don't know.
First of all, don't over spiritualize it if you're watching this. Like, okay.
Even though it was the story of Christianity. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I just love it. I think it's just I think it's the people that I know that have invested their lives into it. They're just some of the best people I know. And honestly, I think that there's something that the church needs to have that
discipline.
I think true humility comes when you actually have the ability to do something. So you have to have an ability.
And to have restraint, you mean?
To have restraint.
True.
And most people are walking around with no ability, and they're claiming it as restraint.
And some people need that with their mouth. They're the shoot, point, aim people.
Yeah.
And I often talk about those people who are super, super quick and can take people out with their Star of David tattoo.
Stop. Get out of here. I respect.
Okay, I have one more question for you. If you...
It was an amulet around their neck. It wasn't a tattoo. Maybe it was.
I'm pretty sure it was a tattoo. If you were the captain of a pirate ship, what would the ship's name be?
Long John Silver's.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I had a boat once. We had a boat named Tippy.
Nobody needs to know why.
It was a tippy boat. You'd tip over in it all the time.
So original.
And so we called it
That's
Tippy.
That's going to be your pirate ship name?
We had a tippy boat.
You don't want a pirate ship that's tippy.
I don't want a pirate ship. What? Like, how are we making this into any sort of logical... You asked me what superpower I want.
Okay, this is my last question.
Okay.
What movie can you watch over and over and over again besides The Last of the Mohicans? That coffee's really helping you.
What movie can I watch over and over and over again besides Last of the Mohicans? Dear Zachary.
What is that? Oh, is that lame movie that you...
Yeah.
Oh.
I watched it a lot with my son.
You and Josh watched.
We love that movie.
And you said, watch this movie, Joe Moody. You're going to love it. And
nobody
I
likes
put it on and went, Dear Lord in heaven, this is the worst movie.
Yeah. And I love documentaries.
Jessica Tate and I love documentaries. That was horrible.
I'm sorry that you felt that way.
And Josh was like, Miss Joe, it was the best. I was like, I really believed you guys.
I should probably rethink this movie, but yeah.
You know, I just want to say that when you tell me something, I legitimately believe you. So I went home and put that on, and I was like, I'm going to watch this. This is going to be so great.
It's so good.
20 minutes in, I'm like...
It's so good.
This reminds me of Crouching Dragon, Hidden Lion,
No,
or
what?
whatever the
No,
name of that movie
you're
is.
talking about like an Asian
Okay, listen, I'm
movie
just saying,
and a documentary.
I'm just saying that when somebody said to me, whatever that movie was called, what was it? Hidden Dragon, Crouching Tiger,
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
whatever.
Yeah.
They were like, the best movie you've ever seen in your life. So I take my mom there with me.
Yeah.
And my mom is, so she's gone now to be with the Lord, but she was super funny. My mom was just hilarious. And she's sitting next to me. She's like, is this a kung fu movie? And I'm like, I don't know.
It's a great movie.
And then she goes, it's not a great movie. It's a horrible movie.
Get out of here, Moody.
She goes, what is this? Are these people in love with each other? Why are they climbing in trees?
They're in love
Why
with
are
each other, and they have
like,
superpowers.
Oh my gosh. The whole thing was just, I don't know.
I love movies. I don't watch as many as I
either.
used to, but I love movies.
I like documentaries because you learn something.
Yeah.
And they're real.
Yeah. I love a good story.
Jess and I have watched some of those, the scandalous
We
docuseries.
were driving to Dollywood. Just so Moosey, my wife.
Oh, she was watching something.
Yes. Yeah, we were all watching. She was watching Survivor. We were watching the Biggest Loser documentary as we were driving.
I heard it's like
I don't know.
I haven't watched it yet.
I don't know. I just love documentaries. I just love them so much. So I watch as many as I can.
Somebody's going to make one about you.
Oh God,
And
I hope not. It's going to be boring.
It's going to be hilarious.
It's going to be boring.
It's going to be great. Hey, I've loved this time.
I love you.
I love you more.
Yeah.
Thank you for being
this is
here.
good. This
No, I'm gonna. I mean,
it doesn't bother me.
You can put like a gallon of creamer in that thing, and I don't even think it will help. No, it has this.
It's got some personality.
No, it does taste.
Yeah,
like,
it's got
it
personality.
tastes like a goose. Got in there. No, it's.
What's up with the Miracle Mandate mug?
So these are going to be collector's items.
They're great.
Yeah, there's a story about that. I'll tell you later.
I like it.
Yeah, it's going to be good. All right, I love you.
I love you, Joanne Moody.
That was so fun.
Are we done?
We're done.
You sure?
This is more than a moment. This is holy ground.